Hey guys, I'm Coach Kev, and welcome to the first lesson, first topic, and we're going over programming, one of the bigger topics in the industry, yet a potentially art that combines science and personal preferences, but we're going to try to take those personal preferences out and put a little bit more objective feedback in it. So, first, a story. So, in October 2017, Structure Personal Fitness, which was founded in 2013, took over another gym called Structure Park Avenue on 31st and Park. And the biggest issue that we had was what was known as the class mindset, meaning the workouts all looked very similar to classes. So people would be doing the training and they would do what's called the workout of the day. The problem with that is that those workouts don't necessarily connect to the client goals. In addition, within each other, the workouts don't necessarily connect. So there's no balance associated with it. There's no thought process behind it. It's just, let's give a good workout. Now, inherently, there's nothing specifically wrong with a workout it's a good workout, right? However, when we look at the grander scheme of things, both in client retention, both in meeting the client's expectations and their goals, then we find that getting people their results, which is what they're paying us for, is a little bit harder when you're not connecting the dots between workouts and workouts. Even if you get 1% better, right, every day, over the course of 365 days, and if you're working out once every 3 days, that's roughly 100 workouts, 1% better over that much of time is a lot. So that's what we're going to focus on today, is kind of delineating between what's a workout, what's a program, and breaking down those pieces. So at its rudimentary level, the question is, what's a workout, right? What is a workout and what does it do? So at its simplest form, right? A workout could be, most people look at it as cardio, could be strength, but it's basically a collection of exercises with an intended end result. Some of that intended end result could be as simple as just to feel good, right? They're not necessarily thinking about what the side effects are, but they're looking forward to being done with the workout. It could be to improving fitness levels, whether on the rower, whether from a barbell lift, whether to running, one of those categories. It could be weight loss, could be fat loss in that category, could be building muscle, right? Filling out a shirt, making a specific muscle look different. Something for the age group of above 50, we're going to talk more about bone density. The thing about generating ground reaction force, meaning putting force into the ground, whether pressing overhead or whether lunges, step-ups, etc., and squats, that would help to strengthen bone density. Posture, preventing injury, all of those things factor into the end goal of the workout, but also when you're creating the workout, those exercises that you choose will prove the foundation or pour the foundation for the workout and the program. So now that we run over what a workout is, right, this collection of exercises, or say a single exercise if you're doing cardiovascular, now we have to look at what a program is. So a program simply is that collection of workouts connected to each other. So I kind of broke it down the other day, and we have the program at the top of the hierarchy, okay? And then below it is this pyramid, if you will, broken into 3 parts, okay? The workouts is second, okay, hopefully, and then the exercises are third. So when we talk about what is a program ideally is made up of exercises that form the workouts, and then the workouts together combine to make an effective program. So what makes an effective program? Well, that's for a bigger explanation and topic. But so I think asking yourself, what is the program? This comes back to the person. You won't know what sort of program, ideally, you're doing with somebody before you meet with them, before you go over their goals. You're not going to know. So it's real important to have an open mind when it comes to programming, in addition to creating those workouts for that person, around that person. So that's the concept behind programs, workouts, and exercises. So one of the things about breaking that down further into programs is, ideally, a program is comprised of concepts. So we talked about workouts and exercises, but now somebody's going to come to you and say, I want fat loss, let's say, but I have a shoulder injury. So now this program, okay, which could be, let's say, something that has less rest within the program, potentially adds a little bit of HIIT or high intensity interval training at the end. And then in addition, we're going to work on some exercises specifically for the shoulder. So we're going to do a lot more pulling, depending on that shoulder injury, in addition to potentially some isolation and strengthening exercises. So now we have kind of a theme, right? So we go back to that theme of the program is comprised of workouts, which is comprised of exercises. So we have the exercises, and we have this theme, right? And it's all based on this person. So this is program number 1. Now that's a one look at it. On the flip side, we can have person number 2, okay? And they want strength and muscle. Okay, so for them, they're actually going to have more rest. Okay, at least that's to start. In addition, they have low back pain, LBP, and so we're going to be working on some mobility, probably at the hip, okay, and T-spine, and in addition, an emphasis on core. Okay, so again, going back to the program, this could be, by the way, this could be the same person, somebody that wants to lose a little fat but get stronger. They could also have shoulder and low back pain. That's not uncommon for somebody to walk in the door to have both shoulder and low back pain. So the concept, again, is this is what they're giving you, and this is what you're giving them. So this is what I call meeting in the middle, right? So we have to have this middle ground. How it happens, right? Most people think fat loss occurs how? More cardio, etc., going on a diet. Meanwhile, we know we can add some HIIT, and we can decrease the rest intervals to try to increase their metabolism over time. In addition, we would probably say what? We'd probably say, I have a great nutritionist. So they're gonna, instead of, beating their head against the wall from a workout perspective and increasing their exercise expenditure without controlling their energy intake, now we're gonna add that element for them, because that's really what they need. And then still giving them this feeling that their workouts are sweaty, their workouts are hard, or at their level. That means that it's hard for them. In addition, that they're getting that what they want. So it's what they want, right? Fat loss and nutrition, plus shoulder, but also what they need. So giving them the pulling, isolation, and that feeling that they're getting pushed in that right direction. So that's the concept of meeting them, as I say, in the middle. Most people, when we talk about programs, get confused because they've read what? Muscle and Fitness, they've read books from Arnold, they've read articles from Arnold, they've read bodybuilding.com or exercises.com or tnation.com. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with that, what you're going to find is simply that those are for high frequent users. For most clients that you're going to see as a personal trainer, what you're going to find is that you're not going to get that person to come in and want a 5-day-a-week split. They're probably going to be closer to that 2 to 3 times a week. So that's what the bulk of today is going to be about, is how do we create a 2 to 3 times a week program that includes everything that the client wants in addition to what they need, okay? So I'm going to give you some generic templates that you can use, okay, with this in mind. So basically what we're going to do is go over, first of all, what an ideal workout looks like, in addition to what a ideal program looks like. So from the workout perspective, we're going to have 7 components. Number 1, kind of an introduction, okay? And that introduction could include a couple things. Number 1, hi John, how are you today? How's everything feeling? Great, awesome. Didn't sleep well last night, but I want to continue, and maybe we'll just do less volume today, less sets and reps. Awesome, okay, so in your head, you're already prepared. In addition, you know that this person's potentially not ready to go a little bit, or as heavy as they normally would. So their central nervous system might be a little bit more fried than usual. So that's our introduction, kind of finding out the lay of the land for them as your client. So that introduction, super important. This is also a good spot to be doing foam rolling if they want to spend a couple minutes foam rolling, in addition to a dynamic warm-up. That's not what we're covering here, but that's super important. The dynamic warm-up should be a part of every introduction to the session. It's a good time also for you to kind of prep them for what their goal is for that day. Goal setting in a micro aspect is overlooked very frequently. So getting that concept of what the goal is today or for that workout is helpful in framing their mind as well. So if John didn't sleep well last night, which he didn't, and you want to set the goal for today, you can remind him as he's telling you, all right, well, let's spend a little longer foam rolling. You might be a little stiff, you didn't sleep well. In addition, we're not gonna go as much weight today and as many sets. So that allows them to mentally prepare, A, that they can get through the workout and that they wanna be there, and B, that they feel confident in your ability to deliver a workout that meets their needs. So that's super important as far as that, and I would say just that. John, we're gonna take it easy today. We'll do what we can, and thanks for coming in today. Okay, then, we're gonna have our first grouping. Usually we're gonna start with some sort of strength component, okay? Some sort of, I spelled that wrong, some sort of power component, okay? And maybe some core, okay? Doesn't have to be in that order, doesn't have to be all three. But checking off our big boxes, everybody needs to get stronger, everybody needs to stimulate fast-twitch muscle fibers, and everybody needs to wake up their core. So these two out of three, if you had to pick two, power and strength, core is the foundation for the rest of the workout. Now, how you create this workout, that's totally a separate conversation and coming up next. But we just want to talk and tackle these concepts and make sure that the strength, power, core start the workout. Why do these start? That's when you're usually freshest, right? You don't want to do strength and power, lift the heaviest, move the fastest at the end of your workout when you're potentially more fatigued. So super important. We call this prioritization, but basically putting these first. I don't need to say that. Okay, so that's up first. Then we're going to look at potentially where, as we talked about before, addressing their weaknesses, addressing what they want to cover, and tackling that. So this is where we're going to find a different rep range. So let's say our rep range here is between 5 and 8, maybe a little bit lower. Now we're going to be talking about probably 6 to 12 in terms of our rep range, anywhere between 3 and 5 sets. And with this concept here, we're going to be pairing up what we did here. So if we did box jumps, if we did bench press for strength, then we're going to start to do more pulling and then pair that. Okay, so we're pairing the exercises. And within the workout is ideal. You could do it certainly within workouts, meaning one day's a push day, one day's a pull day. But on the simplest level, when we're having a 2 to 3 time a week client, most people are going to be doing total body. So pairing the exercises, okay, is a super important concept just from the balance component. When life gets in the way and they have to miss a workout, we don't like to be having done only push for the week or having only done legs for the week. We like a well-balanced approach towards that workout routine. Okay, after that, the concept kind of remains. Again, by the way, the paired exercises, this could be 2 and it could be 4. It depends on the person, the client. You can put as many exercises as you want. Again, we'll go into that as we go. So the fourth thing that we're going to cover is a little bit higher rep range too, a little bit more for endurance. Okay, this one we would quantify more for hypertrophy or for muscle size. No client cares about your definition here and or your explanation here. This is more for intra-trainer speak to nerd out on these topics. But yeah, so the hypertrophy concept and then the endurance concept goes without saying that, again, we want to have some sort of 2 to 3 pairings of exercises, again, anywhere between 8 and 15 reps. Again, ideally, they're paired, and anywhere between 2 and 4 exercises. So the reason that this is so important is because now this is probably 2 to 5 minutes, okay? The strength, power, and the core, this is probably a 10-minute block minimum, and we'll just give it a 10-minute block. Let's say the second one is probably an 8-minute block. This one's an 8-minute block. So now we're about just past the halfway point in the workout, right? Now they're going to be looking around and saying, wow, this is getting pretty hard. Now what we can do is have what's called either a metabolic circuit, okay, or some sort of body weight or some sort of lighter weight circuit that combines. This is where we talk about meeting the client in the middle, giving them what they want and they need, and then specifics. So if they want shoulders, this is where you're going to insert some shoulder mobility. This is where you're going to insert, if they have low back pain, some hip mobility. Basically get them doing, bear crawls would be an example of an exercise that could fit into a metabolic circuit. And giving them a circuit, this would also be 8 to 10 minutes, okay? And then the last thing they're going to be doing, last 2 things, it's basically a brief bout of HIIT, okay? The reason this is super important, similar to every great movie,